So today we continue with our Hilchot De'ot. There is class number 9, and we start with Chofetz Chaim, Sefer Chofetz Chaim. So it's page 68 with permission. Laws of derogatory speech with permission. Okay, go ahead.
So, with permission, it is forbidden to speak derogatorily about someone even when the subject has made it known that he does not mind if such things are said of him. So basically, even if the person doesn't care that you're talking about him, it's still not allowed to talk about him, which happens quite a lot. I've done it.
I think it's not that people do not care. They embarrassed to admit that they do care.
They do care?
Yeah, they just embarrassed to admit. Yeah.
Maybe. Or
in some cases, I guess.
Sometimes I feel like maybe some of them just don't have any shame anymore. You know, like they just do it. Maybe deep down they do. Mm-hmm. I've met people who just have no shame. They just
no shame at all. Like I don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
That's very good.
Yeah. So let's go. So, as mentioned above, to speak negatively of one's fellow is shameful in itself, regardless of the subject's feelings. Speaking Lashon Hara is contrary to man's exalted status as the only creature who has fashioned B'Tselem Elokim in the divine image. So, who was made in Hashem's image.
So, you see, the way I see what it says here, the image is there, divine image is there. So they care or do not care. We don't care about what they think.
Right.
You understand? The image is there, and I cannot talk about image because Hashem, that's what Hashem created.
Right. Okay.
They meant that damage the image. There was no problem with the image to begin with.
Okay, right. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, now I see it. All right, so they're damaging Hashem's image, which he created. I get it. And it's not altered by the fact that one has been granted permission to speak derogatorily. Right. Okay. So basically Hashem didn't give you the permission to talk derogatorily about something that he created in his own image.
Exactly. Okay. Just because another person does not care, it's not his place to care or not to care. You know,
right.
He has no right. Like it's not his, basically.
There was this age-old excuse that people used to say, and I'm sure they still say it. Like I know I said it when I wasn't religious, and it's like, oh, you know, I'm telling you things that I would say to his face, you know, so it's okay if I say it, you know, like I'm, you know, talking about him, but it's things that I've said to his face, and it's okay, you know, and it's just like
that's this big misconception. It's purely Lashon Hara. It does not change the fact that it is Lashon Hara just because somebody is brazen enough to tell it in somebody's face, and the other person did not respond, or he respond, but it's not forceful enough to stop this guy or this lady. I mean, it doesn't change the facts.
Yeah, I agree.
Very sad. Okay, so let's see. So we are in the middle of chapter 2 and Halachah 3. So let's do it from the beginning. Then we start with commentary only where we left off last time.
Give me 1 second. Bye. Okay.
No problem. So let's start from the beginning of number 3, and now we read it completely. So it says, there are temperaments with regard to which a man is forbidden to follow the middle path. He should move away from the one extreme and adopt the other. So when we say like when he's really sick, right?
Right.
Among this is arrogance. If man is only humble, he is not allowed. He is not following the good path. Only humble. Right? Rather, he must call himself lowly, and his spirit very unassuming. There is why in Bamidbar 12:3 describe our teacher Moshe as a very humble and not simply humble. Therefore, our sages decreed, hold oneself very, very lowly. Also, they decreed, whoever is arrogant is as he denies God's presence, as implied in Dvarim 8:14. And your heart will be haughty, and you will forget God, your Lord. So basically, one follows the other, as you know. Once he became haughty, and then he said, that's me who made all of this money and stuff like that. Furthermore, they said, whoever is arrogant should be placed on the ban of ostracism. This applies even if he is only somewhat arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Anger is also an exceptionally bad quality. It is fitting for and proper that one move away from it and adopt the opposite extreme. He should school himself not to become angry, even when it is fitting to be angry. If he should wish to arouse fear in his children and household, or with or the community, if he is a communal leader and wishes to be angry with them, to motivate them to return to the proper path, he should present an angry front to them and to punish them. And he should not but he should be inwardly calm. So basically, this community leader, he cannot be rabbi, cannot be or somebody you mentor. It cannot be your buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So he cannot play a basketball with you. You can push him, and he can push you. So that's or do high fives, right? That's people are not going to be scared of this guy. I'm faster. I'm stronger than him. I do this better than him and stuff like that. He should be like one who acts out of the part of angry man in his wrath, but is not himself angry. So, like outside he showed that he's angry, but inside he's not angry. As early sages said, anyone who becomes angry is like one who worship idols, and that's famous one we're going to discuss today, Beezrat Hashem. They also said, whenever one becomes angry, if he is a wise man, his wisdom leaves him. If he is a prophet, his prophecy leaves him. The life is irate and not true life. So meaning he always annoyed, like all of the people around him always annoyed him. Therefore, they have directed one. Therefore, they have directed one to distance himself from anger and accustom himself not to feel any reaction, even to things which provoke anger. This is a good path. This is the way of the righteous. They accept humiliation, but do not humiliate others. They listen when they are ashamed, but they do not answer. They do this with love and joys in their suffering. Of them, the Judges 5:31 states, and those who love him are like the sun when it comes out in its strength. Okay. So let's go to the. So we left off on 33, right? So let's start from that paragraph. So it says, anger is also, right? Anger is also exceptionally bad quality. So number 3. There is a close association between the quality of arrogance and anger. Both stem from the basic tendency of egotism and self-importance, which is, how they could do it to me, right? Somebody like didn't get honor, so he could become angry. Right. When a person is motivated by egotism, he expects others to respect him and accept this and accept his ideas. If they do not, they respond with anger. So basically, I know many people like that. So it's his way. That's his. I don't know. He's educated in this area and this and that, and he will speak a little like slowly, like he's stupid. He just told you a little like louder than usual, so that you understand that you are not right. It's unbelievable. Very nice. Okay. Anger is also exceptionally bad quality. But you see, I had this issue. I had to confess, but I dealt with it properly. So somebody told me, well, somebody made a comment, and I answered, and I said clearly, Halachah is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Whatever Halachah is. And that person, so in this Halachah, I bought like 3 or 4 points. So that person answered, but I agree with whatever you said. I agree with that. Like point number 3, I almost when I got this text, I almost fell from my chair. I became so upset. I cannot even tell you. Like for a few seconds, I don't know how it was. I almost answered. But I'm telling you that this is Halachah. It's not for you to agree with me, not to agree with me. I mean, it's not me speaking. I'm telling the Halachah. I mean, you speak for common. Other points, but one point is you understand, you agree with me. So Baruch Hashem, but I didn't answer, and I still didn't answer. I said wish all the best. It was before the holidays and stuff like that. But you see clearly, but you see. It's very easy for a person, like including me, right? You can just blow up easily.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're wrong. You're right. So that person, I told that person that's a Halachah in Shulchan Aruch 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you understand? I'm not asking your opinion. I'm not telling even you my opinion. I am telling the Halachah. Understand? So Baruch Hashem. So I mean, but on the other hand, it comes from arrogance. Later on, I analyze why would I even have for 3 seconds, for 5 seconds these thoughts, right? Why I would get upset. So on one hand, it comes from arrogance. Like how come he or she did not listen to me? I mean, why would they question me in this area?
Right.
You understand? So it also comes right because Baruch Hashem. But you see, little by little, we work on it. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. All right. It is fitting and proper for one to move away from it and adopt the opposite extreme. Okay. So meaning not to be arrogant. So commentary number 34. Avodat HaMelech attempts to contrast anger, which Rambam describes as merely improper, with arrogance, which Rambam states as forbidden. So arrogance, Rambam said forbidden. Anger, Rambam said improper. Okay. However, this interpretation is difficult to reconcile with the text, since Rambam begins the Halachah by stating that there is a temperaments, plural. There is both arrogance and anger, with regard to which a man is forbidden to follow the middle path. Okay, I mean, we didn't see what this what that said, but okay, so, but basically the evidence that Rambam include arrogance and anger in the same category. It's not like one is there is a clear connection between them. Okay. So continue after number 34. He should school himself not to become angry, even when it is fitting to be angry. So that's also I think like modern invention. All of this like text notes, like voice notes. They're very productive to work on your character. So you have sometimes to respond. You during the live conversation, you have to respond. Somebody asks you a question, you have to respond. Somebody would would make a comment in my face, like whatever I said, this is halach, skipping 3 points and say that on point number 3, I agree with you. It's like, I don't know, it would be very hard to
Right.
the anger. You understand? No, maybe not the anger, but frustration, I would say.
Frustration. It's a tough thing to. Very tough.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay. So it says 35. The commentaries refers to a need for A's. Interpretation of Kahelas 11:10. Remove anger from your heart. Okay, that's remove anger from your heart. If he should wish to arouse fear in the children and the household, or within the community, if he's community leader. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's do 36, right? See Shabbat 105b, which gives several examples of the sages who display anger in the presence of their family for this purpose. So, but there in the same Talmud it says that don't overdo it, because if man is like overly angry, so he's going to be Michal Shabbos. So as his own family going to make him Michal Shabbos. So wife is going to cook. For example, he likes this hot cholent, whatever, hot soup. So and if she forgot to put it like before Shabbos, she would put it on Shabbos. You understand? Because she afraid of him and his angry feet more than she's afraid of Hashem.
Right.
Unfortunately. That's but if he would like I mean, you have to choose when to get angry, when it's so very important. That's halachah. And when it's not so important, okay, so I'm going to be without soup, hot soup, whatever. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? So okay, so you can show to children, to your wife, little anger, like you ask her not to do things, and she still did it. Like I don't know, but I think you have to be like choose your battle. Don't like be even show this anger about all the little things.
Right.
Okay. So if he communion leader and wishes to angry at them, to motivate them to return to the proper path, he should present an angry front to them to punish them, but he should be inwardly calm. So maybe community leader, I'm not sure like what's going on. Maybe people speak in the shul during the davening, so he wants to stop that. Okay, so commentary 37. See the Guide to Perplexed, volume 1, chapter 54, which describes how the leader of community should be ruled by his intellect and not by his emotions. It's hard. I mean, me personally, I will not survive even 1 day as a community.
Neither.
Not even 1 hour. I mean, but on another hand, they have to get all the calculations. See, just because I cannot do the job, but he has to do the job. He has to run this synagogue somehow. I don't know. Though he may have to display emotion to motivate his people to produce to their capacity, he himself should not be inwardly affected. Okay, so it's I mean to just be a good actor, right?
Right.
Show them
that's something because in order to be a good actor, you have to have. I mean, at least my understanding is you have had to at some point deal with these emotions yourself, right? Like you have to understand the emotion and like in order to act it out, right? Because if you've never experienced it, so just talking to the community leader, in order for the community leader to be a community leader, he has to have at least perfected himself, like most of his negative traits, right? Because it's not like a natural thing, I guess.
Of course not.
So I mean, I don't know anybody who's a community leader. I mean, that's why I think it's I look at it like any rabbi who's a community leader has to have worked on himself to the point where he can use those emotions, even though it doesn't affect him internally, like with, all those things, to persuade it on the outside, because he has to know what those feel like, like anger, this, putting fear into people, maybe. I don't know. That's what I think. I don't know.
It's the way I see it. It's very hard. It's very hard. So we say do not show emotions, but in other words, it's like be indifferent. I mean, just
Right.
act the play. I mean, everybody have feelings. Like if you, for example, if you invest in somebody like so much, and you expect something in return, like something, like a little respect, when you, for example, you spend some money, spend some time, when he was down, this person, so you try with advice, you stay with him on the phone for hours, try to listen to him, calm him down, stuff like that. And now, like when he's a little better, he's like ignoring you. So just not to have feelings like frustration, it's very hard. It's very. I mean, I'm not sure if it's humanly. I mean, of course, it's possible because the book says that, but the person has to be like high above. But it's a hara. Tells you like
This book was written, 1,000 years ago. Those people are very different.
No, but things didn't change much. I mean, they like became more obvious. They're more ashamed, let's say, than it was before. But even in his time, even Rambam's time, like there were many heretics, many heretics. So I don't know. Today is more than before. I'm not sure. Okay, so continue. He should be like one who acts out out the part of angry man in his wrath, but he's not angry himself. Himself angry. 38. Rambam appears to imply that one should be like an actor playing a role of an angry person. Thus, the action he displays do not reflect his own inner feelings. So one more time, this thus the action he displays do not reflect his own inner feeling, but it's very good actor, very good actor. See also Hilchot Talmud Torah 4 and Halachah 4 through 5, which explain that the teacher should not be easily provoked to anger. So I mean, these teachers should be like very special people. Of course, these little kids are annoying, and not any kids are annoying, I would say. However, if he feels that his students are not applying themselves, he should display anger to motivate better performance. Okay, so don't like to put some do not cross this line. That's a little too much. Okay, basically. Okay, so continue. So with students, with the family, so you have to tell them this: the law is the law, and nobody's changing the law in my house, basically.
Right.
So, but many things. That's why when we learn all this halachas, somebody told me just recently. He said no. He said I'm fine. I'm fine. Let's do by the first opinion, and I don't want to listen to the rest. It's like degrading to me. I'm I mean the person trying to be like be on very high level, but I told him it's not always up to you, and you don't know the circumstances. I mean, and plus you have to know how to apply the law in all of the other situations. So if it's not like if somebody is with you, the guy is not married, right? So when you're going to get married, maybe your wife is sick, maybe this, maybe that, maybe not that sick, maybe your mother-in-law. I mean, a million different situations. So you need to know what is allowed, what is not allowed, even if it's not to the best of the mitzvah performance. For you, yes, but for them, you have to be strict with them, basically. So that's why I said we need to still cover all of the opinions and try to memorize them. We had this conversation just recently. Okay. So continue. The early stage is set. Okay, number 39. The exact source of Rambam's statement is somewhat problematic. Rashbash quoted Nedarim 22b as containing this statement. However, our text of the passage contains slightly different expression. Similar but not that totally identical is found in Shabbat 105b. On the basis of Rambam's commentary to Avot 2:13, it would appear that he draws this statement from there. Zohar volume 1, page 77 to 27b, uses precisely the same phraseology as Rambam does here. So, okay, my personal commentaries in sometimes, and we see like in a commentary that Rashi had a little different text from Gemara than we have today. Rambam. Yeah. So it's not unusual. Okay, sometimes, like it's not completely, it's some words, extra words. Okay, so let's see. The early sages said, anyone who becomes angry is like one who worships idols. Okay? A person, if a person appreciated that the matter which provoked him his anger came from God, he would accept it without question. So that's a very, very strong statement, right? So if you know that whatever this guy did to me just now, it's whatever Hashem decreed, and whatever Hashem decreed, whatever is good for me, that's good for me. Understand? So it says. So we learned yesterday in Nefesh Chaim about how, like, when you pray Shmona Esrei, so it says, and let's say the person goes through suffering, so he has to understand that suffering came from Hashem for his own good, right? So and he draws the parallel of this, that like a person goes to a doctor and asks him to do like bloodletting for him all the days, or he does, or he asks for, or he needs a limb to be amputated. So, but if you look at the situation, he came to the doctor and he asked him to do a bloodletting, to make this foot be amputated, but he does it because it's good for him, and he does not blame the doctor. If anything, he loves the doctor because he brings him salvation through suffering. So they say all of this suffering that the person gets, so the Nefesh Chaim said, so it comes from Hashem. So how can he ask Hashem remove the sufferings, whatever the life tribulation that person goes through, if we know that it is good for him? How can he ask for that? So Nefesh Chaim, he said that just something that I did not expect. So he said, so every time when person is suffering, Shekhinah is suffering. Right? Shekhinah is suffering. So because of why? Because of our sins. So whatever we did, so now we deserve the punishment, whatever punishment is. And now the Shekhinah is suffering because we're suffering. So now when it says, please remove the suffering from the Shekhinah, so it's like indirectly to remove my suffering also.
Okay.
Understand? Okay. So it's very interesting thing. Okay. So one more time. If person appreciates that the matter which provokes his anger came from God, he would accept without question. Meaning that's what Hashem said. It's not because of this guy. Why does he become upset? Because he does not think about God and preoccupied with his own concepts. Tanya Igres HaKodesh 25, which makes sense, right? So, I mean, that's why person have to react to this intellect, and this, as I said, this voice notes, it's unbelievable. So you don't answer like something annoys you, don't answer right away. Give it an hour, 2 hours, day, and basically you're the winner. Okay, So continue after note number 40. It says that they also said whenever also said if he whenever one becomes angry, if he is a wise man, his wisdom leaves him. So that's what we discussed, I think, last time. Leaves him about this frog. You remember? When the Egyptians were beating the frog. We said that?
Oh, yeah.
So the wisdom leaves him. 42. Thus we find that Moshe became angry with the commanders who took the women of Midian captives, and he erred and forgot the laws dealing with the purification of the vessels. Okay, so I don't remember what happened. Aaron taught the Halachah. I don't remember who. I think Aaron. Who else? Purification of the vessels. Okay. Continue. If he's a prophet, his prophecy leaves him. So Melachim Beis, chapter 3, relates that Elisha went to his wrath on Yoharam, king of Israel. He had to seek special means to regain spirit of prophecy. Basically, they had to play the music instrument like to calm him down. Okay, also not good. If he's a prophet, his prophecy leaves him. Okay, we just said. The life of the irate is not true life. So what does it mean? There's a hymn, it's number 44. There's a hymn 113b.
Here's I'm sorry, I have a question. So I didn't read this part in Kings because I didn't even start reading the Tanakh. Who said Elisha got angry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then said what? He had to have musical instruments to calm him down?
Yeah. So basically, it says that the prophet can give a prophecy only when he's in a good mood.
Right.
Like a happy mood, basically, right? So in order to calm somebody down or bring a person to a good mood, so you have to play music for him.
Oh,
yeah.
So if we get
I give you this example. I'm sure you have. I have many, not many, but some songs. Even I'm in bad mood when everything goes wrong, so I play this music. I play this song, and now everything changes.
Right. So absolutely. So is it okay to use those type of things to calm yourself down, or is it okay to just try to understand it's all from Hashem and there's nothing to get angry about? No, I mean I don't know. It's okay to use external.
Of course, no, you're right 100%. But after it's all said and done, after he aired, it's like after the fact. He made
okay.
Of course, and now he's he needs to receive this prophecy. You understand? So in order to receive prophecy, so now they have to come down with this music. You're right. The proper way is just not to get angry. But even Elisha, I mean, it's not like he got angry because of this king did something. That it's like he was so annoying. He was idol worshiper, and so many miracles were done and stuff like that, and he was still ignoring all of these things. In a sense, if Elisha got frustrated, okay.
And 4.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you?
No, go ahead. I'm just following.
Okay, therefore they have directed that one distance himself from anger and accustom himself not to feel any reaction, even to things which provoke anger. But as I said last time, and I mean I said that the person has to do the homework, has to prepare himself not to get angry.
Right.
Before it happens, because after it happens, you're going to snap and that's it. So, and this is the good path. With regard to the most temperaments, the middle path is a good path. However, anger is an exception, and the good path is extreme or completely lack of anger. Completely lack of anger. So if Hashem, as we said So Hashem sent it to you, and you just get in. It's the consequences of our. So he said, all the suffering, physical suffering, is the consequences of our intentional sins. Our intentional sins.
Right.
So okay, so let's continue. This is the way of the righteous. So let's see 46. The following statement without this introduction is found in Shabbat 88b, Yoma 23a, Gittin 36b. However, the association of these qualities with the righteous can be found in Sifri Barim 11:21. Okay. So one more time, this is the way of the righteous. They accept humiliation, but do not humiliate others. Okay, so I mean, the way I see it, like as written in Slat Sharim and other book. So if you just know the reward, of course you're not at that great level that you understand that Hashem is doing this. Okay, that's very good. But even if you understand just simply reward for you not answering, so that's also good enough. It's also a reason not to answer.
Right.
You understand? Don't start with the top. Just do what is makes sense even for your Eitzachara. They listen when they are ashamed, but they do not answer. Okay, 47. In chapter 5, Halachah 13, and in Hilchot De'ot 5:11, in Hilchot Talmud Torah 7:13, the Rambam also refers to this passage. Significantly, in Hilchot De'ot, the Rambam refers to this as a pious behavior undertaken by wise.
Mm-hmm.
That relates very closely to the theme of this halachah, which speaks about adopting an extreme attitude regarding these two qualities of pride and anger. Mm-hmm. Not because one chooses the path of piety over the middle path of the wise, but because with regard to these qualities, the middle path is difficult to follow. Let's read this again, this sentence. From where to start? That relates closely. Okay, from that sentence. That relates closely to the theme of this halacha, which speaks about adopting the extreme attitudes regarding these two qualities of pride and anger. Not because one chooses the path of piety over the middle path. Just one second. Not because one chooses the path of piety over the middle path of the wise, but because with regard to these qualities, the middle path is difficult to follow. Okay. Perhaps this is Rambam's intent in describing this as a way of the righteous, instead of using the term pious or wise, which is employed in the previous halachah. We're dealing with a person who does not have a commitment to the path of piety. Rather, we ensure that his behavior will continue to be righteous. He deviates from the path of wisdom to the extreme of this specific areas. So the wisdom says go in the middle. Middle is also good, but he knows that it's not good. He's going to stumble, so you have to be like opposite extreme. It was 47. Okay, so let's continue after 47. They do the no, does not make sense. So let's do from the beginning of the sentence. This is the way of the righteous. They accept humiliation, but do not humiliate others. They listen when they are ashamed, but they do not answer. They do this with a love, from the love, and a joy in their suffering. Mm-hmm. Humility and suppression of anger. Humility and suppression of anger are not meant to be accompanied by gloom and depression. So that's the very hard part, I would say personally. One one thing that you subdue yourself, you like you didn't answer, but be happy about it. That's a little higher level, much higher level, I would say. Rather, they are to be experienced as joy and love. That's, I mean, I think even like if we do this just not answer part, that would be also great. Unhappiness stems from self-awareness. Very interesting. Unhappiness stems from self-awareness. The more one is concerned with himself, the more needs, wants, and desires he feels. And the more he's dissatisfied when those needs are not fulfilled. And that's very strong statement. Very strong, I think. Well, let's say it again. I mean, that's very strong. So from unhappiness. Unhappiness stems from a self-awareness. So meaning when somebody is not happy, so he expected expected more based on his self-evaluation.
Right.
I did just this and this, but I didn't get it, and instead of this guy did this and this. The more one is concerned with himself, the more needs, wants, and desires he feels. And the more he is dissatisfied when those needs are not fulfilled. And it's a very strong question, the statement. I like very much. In a contrast, when a person arises above self-concern, the qualities of patience and humility become spontaneous and natural expression of his character.
Mm-hmm.
Let's read it one more time. In a contrast, when a person rises above the self-concern, it's like it's not about me, right? The qualities of the patience and humility become spontaneous and natural expression of his character. It is not that he wants honor and respect, but holds himself back because of the sages' advice. Or would really like to unleash his anger, but realizes that doing so is wrong. Meaning that he is, it's the way I say, there is no emotions, that's pure intellect. Rather, one rises above these negative emotions entirely. In this context, so rather one rises above these negative emotions entirely. So now it's pure intellect. It's wrong. That's not what our sages say. It's not good for me. Right? In this context, Rambam describes in his commentary to the Mishnah, Avos 4:4, who is pious man? How a pious man was subjected to the lowest form of denigration by a colleague and was able to undergo the entire experience without the slightest thought of anger or discomfort. That's very strong. Okay, continue. Of them, the Judges 5:31 states, and those who love him are like the sun when it comes out in its strength. Next page. So it says the ability to rise above the self-concern stems from all-encompassing love of God. In Hilchot De'ot 10:3, Rambam states, what is the proper degree of love? That a person should love God with very great and exceeding love. He will always be obsessed with love as if he were lovesick. Lovesick person's thoughts are never diverted from the love of that woman. That's an amazing comparison, right? He's always obsessed with her. With an even greater love should the love of God be implanted in the hearts of those who love him. To continue the comparison, so I mean, he like that's how a person has to love Hashem. So it should be always constantly on his mind. To continue the comparison mentioned by Rambam, a person who is deeply in love is not at all concerned with his honor or pride. So he's trying to satisfy, to do everything possible for the object of his love, right? Him himself is like is not the thing here. Okay. He's willing to do many things which would ordinarily consider undignified to express his life. See Shmuel base chapter 6. The same applies regarding the love of God, because one of one's a great love, he's willing to ignore his honor and control his anger. So because honor of Hashem, and that's what he told me to do, so I'm not going to get angry.
Right.
So that's okay. So tell me, you want to stop here? You want to continue? Tell me.
Yeah, no. I gotta stop. I have things. But next week I've been a little rough today.
All right.
I got very late this week, but next week I'll be better.
Beezrat Hashem. All right. Thank you very much.